Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Gaur Premanande Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahams Parirajakara Stotra Sadasima's Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvindesi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahams Parirajakara Stotra Sadasima's Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Pitai Gaur Premanande All glories assembled devotees All glories assembled devotees All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories Srila Prabhupada Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttamaśloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for coming this morning for Bhagavatam class. Really excited and inspired seeing so many devotees today. So today we are going to discussing of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, General History, Chapter 9, Detachment from all that is material. So text number 5, which is on the board. Today we're going to recite from text 5 to 10 because most of the verses does not have purport. We will have verse 10th verse, we have big purport. So kindly repeat after me the text which is on board. Kvachit kumari tva atmananam Vednam grahanam agatan Swayam tan aryan asyaya Kvapiyateshu bandhunushu Kvachi kumari tvatmananam Vednam grahanam agatan Swayam tvam agrahan asyaya Kvapi yasteshu bandhunushu Kvachi kumari tvatmananam Vednam grahan agatan Swayam tvam agrahan asya Kvapi yasteshu bandhunushu. Please chant. Kvachi kumari tvatmananam Nam sanagatan Swayamatan agyanasam Vapiyatreshu bandhunushu. One Mataji. Oh. Kvachit kumari tvatmanam Anamangatan Swayam tanagranasha Vapiyateshu bandhunushu. Thank you very much. What word meaning? Kvachit, once. Kumari, a young girl. Two, indeed. Atmanam, herself. Varnam, desiring as a wife. Graham, to the house. Agatan, arrived. Swayam, herself. Tan, those men. Agrahasya, received with great hospitality. Kvapachi, to another place. Yasteshu, when they had gone. Bandhunushu, all her relatives. Translation and purport, there is no purport. Translation by disciples of His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: once a marriageable young girl was alone in her house because her parents and relatives had gone that day to another place. At that time, a few men arrived at house, specifically desiring to marry her. She received them with all hospitality. Text 6. When the girl went to a private place and began to make preparation so that unexpected male guest could eat, as she beating the rice, the conchal bracelets on her arms were colliding and making a loud noise. Text 7. The young girl feared that the men would consider her family to be poor because their daughter was busily engaged in menial task of husking rice. Being very intelligent, the shy girl broke the shell bracelet from her arms, leaving just two on each wrist. Text 8. Thereafter, the young girl continued to husk the rice. The two bracelets on each wrist continued to collide and make noise. Therefore, she took one bracelet off each arm, and with one left on each wrist, there was no more noise. Text 9. A subduer of enemy, I traveled throughout the surface of the earth, learning constantly about the nature of this world. And thus, I personally witnessed the lessons of the young girl. The Brahmana sage here explained to the king Yadu that he is not presenting a theological knowledge. Rather, by wandering throughout the world, the observant and thoughtful Brahmana was personally experienced the lessons and learned from all the above mentioned gurus. Thus, instead of posing himself to be omniscient like God, he humbly explains that he has faithfully learned the lessons in his travels. Text 10. When many people live together in one place, there will be undoubtedly quarreling. And even if only two people live together, there will be a frivolous conversation and disagreement. Therefore, to avoid conflict, one should live alone, as we learn from the example of the bracelet of the young girl. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given a nice example in this regard. Because the young girl mentioned in this story had no husband, she had to fulfill her duties as a host by removing her bracelet so that each wrist held one bracelet only. In the same way, the process of Jnana Yoga or spiritual advancement by philosophical speculation demand that the speculating sages live alone without any other association. Since Jnanis have dedicated their lives to speculation, there will be undoubtedly an endless argument and quarreling on technical points. If many Jnanis live together, therefore, to keep peaceful atmosphere, they must live alone. On the other hand, a king's daughter who has been duly married to an aristocratic prince fulfill her duties to her husband by dressing herself attractively with the innumerable ornament and approaching him for love. Similarly, the goddess of devotion Bhakti Devi decorates herself with the innumerable ornaments of Vaishnavas, who come together to relish the sweet sound of the holy name of the Lord. Because pure Vaishnavas do not intimately associate with the non-devotees, it may be said that they reside alone, and thus they also fulfill the purpose of this verse. There cannot be any quarrel among pure Vaishnavas, because they are on the real platform of desirelessness, not wanting even salvation or mystic power, what to speak of sense gratification. Because they are all devotees of Krishna, they may freely associate with one another for glorifying the Lord, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. A pure devotee who is attached to the activities of devotional service and who always engage in the service of my lotus feet never desires to become one with me. Such a devotee who is unflinchingly engaged always glorifying my pastimes and activities. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has commented on this verse as follows. The young girl in the story kept only one bracelet on each wrist so that there would be no noisy conflict among the bracelets. Similarly, one should give up the association of those who are not devoted to the Supreme Lord. This is the actual lesson to be learned. A real Vaishnava is always pure and faultless in his character. However, in those places where non-devotees congregate, there will be undoubtedly envious criticism of the devotional service of the Lord. And those who falsely attempt to analyze the reality without Supreme Personality of Godhead will create much disturbing noise in the name of philosophy. Therefore, one should remain in those places where Supreme Lord is properly worshipped according to the Vedic standards. If everyone is dedicated to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, there will be not any impediment in a mutual association. However, in a place where people have many different purposes besides the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, social dealings will certainly be disturbed. One should therefore avoid the association of those who are inimical to the devotional service. Otherwise, one will be frustrated in achieving the spiritual purpose of life. One who has always kept himself in the company of the devotees of the Lord is actually living alone. If one lives in a community where the only consideration is the pleasure of the Lord, then one can avoid the contradictory situation caused by many persons competing to satisfy their own material desires. This is a lesson intelligently understood by the Brahmana from the bracelets of the young girl. In this connection, Sri Madhvacharya quotes the following: one should not, under any circumstances, live with those who are not devotees of the Lord. On the other hand, one should stay with the many devotees because of such association awards liberation. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. So before going to the verse, I would just like to give the context of the verse, because this is a very, very important detachment from all that material. So this Avadhuta Brahmana was learning remaining 7 lessons from 7 gurus. One is Kukura bird, describing how one one's body gets into the attachment, and second instruction he received from the lazy child, and this instruction from especially from the young girl. So this particular instruction he is receiving from that young girl, where she is trying to serve the guest. In that process, she was make sure that the guest will be happy and also not disturbed by this bracelet. So in that context, she removes one of the bracelets so that that doesn't make much noise. So in the 10th verse, we see that first part of the verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains the following thing, that jnanis, yogis, and the philosophical speculations, personalities, they live alone, so that the disturbances and the arguments and quarrelism can come down. And because they have their own realization. One realization person will not agree with another person's realization. And coming to the second part of the verse is emphasis on the association of the devotees and how we should associate with the devotees and how we should do not associate with the non-devotees. These are all the basic things that we learn from our spiritual master, our Siksha Guru, that how glorious is the association of the devotees. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that, and also Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see that this verse explains 3.25.25 Satam prasangam mama virya sadmito bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha tadjoshanat apavartavartani shraddha bhakti rakti anushkaranshati. So, we see that if one associate with the pure devotees and in the association, discussion, the pastimes, activities of the Lord is very pleasing and satisfying to our ears and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced in the path of liberation. And thereafter he is freed from the attraction of materialist and becomes fixed in the devotional service. So, we see that how association is important. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked by a journalist, Prabhupada, how you become a devotee? And Prabhupada asked him the reverse question, how you became a journalist? He said that, no, I was interested in that subject. I was studying that subject. I was associating with the people who are in journalist field. Then I became a journalist. Then Prabhupada told, similarly, when you want to become a devotee of the Lord, when you hear more of the Lord, then you become associated with those devotees. Then you will become attracted to the Supreme Lord. Then you become a devotee. And one more time, Srila Prabhupada was asked, this was asked by a drunkard. Prabhupada, how you become a devotee? Then Prabhupada, same question, how you become a drunkard? By associating with the bar, people who are like the bar. So you become a drunkard. So this is power of association. It's not only a person wanting to become a devotee. If you want to become a businessman, you associate with businessman. If you want to become a sportsman, you associate with a sportsman. If you want to become a professor, you associate with a professor. So why is association is so powerful? So today we're going to discuss on this power of association of the devotees, because in this verse, 10th verse, it's morely emphasis on the association, where we understand Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj gives an exact meaning in the second part of the verse, that girl who has only kept one bracelet on each wrist so that noise can be reduced. Similarly, we should give up the association of the who are non-devotees, and we should associate with the devotees. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So we should associate with the devotees to discuss the pastimes, or to discuss the stories of Krishna, or to discuss the philosophical knowledge. And of course we can ask, how are you, what are you doing? That is also a basic question. We cannot just right away jump into the Krishna Katha. That is not practical. And what is practical, we have to understand. And we can talk about the other things and later on. But first thing is that we should ask the welfare of the devotees, and then coming to the part. Nowadays, which book are you reading? You know, to the context, which book are you reading? How was chanting today, and how was your hearing is going on? So, if we ask then naturally it is invokes Krishna Katha amongst each other. Otherwise, it will be a Gramya Katha, just discussion. So this is very, very important, the power of association of the devotees. So one may ask, what we get when we associate the devotees? So devotees helps us stay focused on Krishna, overcoming obstacles, cultivating humility. So stay focused on Krishna means their words and action constantly reminds us Krishna and the importance of surrendering unto Him. And overcoming obstacles, by sharing their experience of the devotees, provide insight into how to navigate the challenges on spiritual path. And cultivate humility. So witnessing that sincerity and dedication of others inspires, let us go of ego and pride. So one may ask, there are differences between the Vaishnavas. Yes, there are differences between the Vaishnavas. There are differences, opinions also. We see in our organization, there are so many differences. But we should see the differences as the pastimes. Sometimes it's like, externally it looks like so much difference, but the ultimate goal is one. One time, Srila Prabhupada was asked a devotee, is it Krishna is higher or Balaram is higher? And who is supreme? In that context, there were different arguments were coming on. Some devotees said that no, Krishna is a supreme Lord, and obviously he is the only person who enjoys everything. But and from the Balaram side, no, Balaram, even though Krishna comes, Balaram has to go first and make sure that everything runs smoothly and make sure that pastimes takes care. Who is greater? Is it Lord or servant? So in that way, different arguments were coming to the Srila Prabhupada. And one argument was, only Krishna can enjoy Radharani and Balaram cannot. I like that. So one group with the Tamal Krishna Maharaj, another group with some other devotee, I don't remember exactly. So Prabhupada heard first from the Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, his arguments. Prabhupada said, you are right. And Prabhupada heard from the other devotee and said, you are also right. And Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, who is right? You are right. So, in the spiritual aspect, in spirituality, it's not who is right. It's all about the mood. It's all about the cultivation of humility. So when we have that satsang, then naturally spiritual growth will be happening. So we find many examples in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the role of satsang in spiritual growth. So we see that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized more on satsang. The root cause of devotional service to the Lord Krishna is association of the advanced devotees. Even one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, associated with the devotees is still most essential. So here we see that only if we advance will happen only if we associate with the pure devotees of the Lord. One may say, I don't have association of the pure devotees every day. What to do? So for that, we should understand that whatever the devotees we got around us, they are reminding of Krishna. We should see something good on them. And how we can see when our Chaitana, when our consciousness is pure. How our Chaitana will be pure? When we chant attentively. When we hear Krishna Katha attentively. And for our sake, We can say that, oh no, I want only pure devotees. For our sake, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj or Bhakti Vinod Thakur will not descend to give you association. If you have that much power, you can make them descend and associate with them. And even if you associate with the spiritual master also, there will be not all the time he will be giving very nice, sweet instructions, which you can do easily. Correct? He will not say, oh, today you ate one gulab jamun, tomorrow you eat two gulab jamuns. No, he will give you such instructions which is very, very challenging and which is purifying and which is uplifting. So we see that in the role of satsang in spiritual growth, the first thing is that we'll get inspiration. Second, we will be accountability. And third is encouragement. And the fourth is wisdom. So first thing is inspiration. Seeing others' enthusiasm in chanting, studying and serving Krishna, kindness, our devotion will awaken. Just we see that Guru Puja, how much everybody is dancing and chanting. Correct? So that will give you as enthusiasm to chant. And next thing is that accountability. So what is accountability? So regular association keeps us aligned with our spiritual goals, much like a compass, like we have a compass which shows east to west, and which compass pointing out towards Krishna. So when we have association of the devotees, that compass will show pointing us Krishna, will navigate our journey towards Krishna. And the third thing is that we will get encouragement. When we are in struggle, of course, there is nobody in devotional life, they say that, oh, devotional life is very pure, happily I'm chanting every day, happily doing everything. That means is something wrong with him. And all the sadhakas are struggling somewhere or the other, some anarthas or the other, whether chanting 16 rounds or studying or hearing or reading. Nobody can say, oh, my chanting is very nicely going on from last 1-2 years. Happily I'm chanting. I have never missed my rounds in the morning or evening. Or my reading is going on happily. Or my hearing is going on happily. I don't have any anarthas. My bhakti is flowing. That means there is something wrong. There will be some challenges in bhakti. So we get encouragement from the devotees with their guidance and prayers. And the last thing is that we get the wisdom. Through the discussion, lecture, shared experience, we deepen our understanding for Krishna consciousness. Correct? So when we understand this, we can see that our understanding for Krishna realization, it is much deeper. So association of the devotees is more stronger than association with the Lord. We see Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj, all the great devotees, when they saw in front of the Lord, when they saw Lord in front of them, what did they ask? They did not ask, I want this, I want that, I want, liberation, I want, Goloka Vrindavan. They only asked association of the devotees. That's the reason Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prayed in his bhajan that even though I was born in the devotee's house, that is enough. I don't want a post of Brahma. When I said the post of Brahma is that much easy, no, it is not easy. If you practice Varnashrama to the point of 100 lifetimes, then you will get the post of Brahma. To practice Varnashrama Dharma in one lifetime, it is very, very difficult. What is Varnashrama Dharma? Living simply, depending on the land and depending on the cow. To take care of the cows, your mind, your body will be 360 degrees revolving. Because why I'm sharing that, I had experience with that. Staying in the farm, staying in the cows, it will be 365 degrees. You will not able to perform sadhana. You will be not able to take care of the cows. And taking care of the cows is very serious. a job. It's not easy. They should be very cleansed nicely, and they should be protected from all kinds of bugs and insects. Of course, that's the deepest subject matter. So there, so many things are involved. So then you practice 100 lifetimes of Varnashram Dharma, then you can become a Brahma. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur rejected that. So why I'm sharing this is that so when we discuss with the devotees, the experience will become deepened. And we have examples from association of the devotees, like great examples, Narad Muni's journey, correct? So as a young boy, Narada served, Narad Muni served saintly devotees who have visited his mother. Through their association, he developed the love for Krishna, eventually become a great spiritual teacher. That is first. And second is Dhruva Maharaj with his determination. By inspired guidance of sage Narada, Dhruva Maharaj's life transformed, leading him to perform intense devotional service to attaining Krishna's blessings. And from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jagai Madai. So despite of their sinful lives, these two brothers, got so much compassion and association of Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Through the Lord Nityananda, he got the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not that Jagai Madai, they directly associated with the Lord. So this is an example where we cannot approach the Lord directly. We have to approach through a devotee. When a devotee recommends, then Lord sees. When devotee does not recommend to the Lord, he will not see. Whenever there is a disturbance on the earthly planet, when demons attack and the disturbance causes by dharma, so all the demigods associate with Indra, and all the demigods, including Indra, they go to Brahma, and all the demigods, everybody, they go to the Vishnu. On behalf of them, they pray to the Lord Brahma prays to the Vishnu. Then Vishnu descends. Then the pastime will happen. Then Lord hears. So, whatever prayers, whatever strugglings we have to approach through the devotees. Then devotee will pray on behalf of us. When devotee prays, Lord will hear. When devotee does not have any good thoughts or good impression on us, then there will be a challenges in our bhakti. If a devotee shows a person he is a demon, without a second Lord will kill him. If a devotee shows a person he is a devotee, without even thinking of a second he will accept it. And that's the power of association of the devotee. So here we see that so many examples we come across in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. These stories reminds us that the company of the devotees can ignite a devotion even in the most challenging circumstances. The practical ways to association of the devotees is, as we attended today, like attending temple programs and joining bhakti groups, engaging in seva, online satsang, and invite devotees to a home and have kirtan. So by regularly visiting temple, participating in kirtan classes, festivals, keeps us connect with the community, spiritual community. And joining bhakti groups. So many ISKCON centers we have small studying groups, chanting groups, that will keep us close and intact. And engaging in seva. The volunteering at the temple, spiritual causes allows us to, for a long side, and journey becomes very easy and smooth. And online satsang, as we know, Zoom calls, book reading. One may say that, okay, we don't have discussion with the devotees, but at least, a call a devotee or call a friend and ask them, today I have read this pastime, I would like to share. I'm sure devotee will not say, no, I don't have a time. But don't call them in the peak hours. That is also important. Morning 10 o'clock. I have discussed from Chaitanya Charitamrita, I would like to discuss, whenever it is getting called. Of course, it's based on the relationship, and it's based on the how you have relationship on each devotee. But not like torturing, oh, this devotee is calling me again. He may, read entire Bhagavatam or entire Chaitanya Charitamrita for me. No, whatever is simple thing, so that will enhance, because the power of association is like just like a magnifying glasses. So it's like if you want to see the moon or any stars closely, you have a binoculars. In the binoculars, there are so many lenses, correct, to clearly see the moon or a star. If you don't have so many lenses between you and the moon, you cannot see. Similarly, moon is here Lord Krishna. You cannot see the Lord directly with your eyes. You have to have many devotees as they are acting as a lenses between you and Krishna. Then only you can magnify the lenses properly, you can see the clearly Lord. Similarly, then only you can magnify your bhakti and you can understand the Lord who is. And of course, last thing is that we have to see how much to associate with the devotees and what is the purpose. So in my understanding, and also I heard from the seniors, that we have to associate with the devotees. There are three kinds of devotees in our life. One is senior, junior, and equals. Correct? We have to associate with typically with seniors 30 to 40%, and juniors 20 to 30%, and equals 50%. Because we cannot associate with the seniors 50% to 60%, because they will always give instructions and also guidelines, and they also of course inspire us, and also associating with them also what happens is that your anarthas will come out, your anger will come out, your ego will come out. I know this how to do from last 20 years, I have done it. You are telling me how to do it. That inside from ego that comes up. Correct? I know this is, but still you have to follow blindly. If it is correct or wrong, it's up to senior. If a senior is saying, do this, you have to do this. It's like this is a very classic example where this Parshuram, he got instruction from his father, cut off his mother's head. He immediately cut off, without even a second. Then his father was so impressed. Oh my God, what a type of a son you are. Without even thinking of a second, you cut off your mother's head. Then he was impressed. He said, what do you want? I want my mother back. So he, like that. So whether it is right or wrong, we have to just follow. Because they will take whole responsibility, because they empower us. In this connection, I would like to tell one small story, which has really happened. Many years ago, in Bengal, Calcutta, in India, in one of the ISKCON centers, there was one devotee. He was put into the fundraising and also making life members. Life members means you go to a person, you tell about our organization, and you make him a life member, and you give him a card where he can stay in the temple for 3 to 2 days in all over the world. So for that you have to pay something. So this devotee is very poor in fundraising and making the life members. So he got instruction from his temple president, and he said that, oh, since I got instruction from temple president, I have to follow. Then what he did is that he took a telephone directory where the numbers are there. He started calling one by one. And so many calls were hung up, so many calls did not answer. One call was answered, and he said, he just heard, I'm from ISKCON, my name is so and so. I want to get appointment, I want to meet you, I want to introduce about this life member. Yes, you can come and so time. When he went there, he was shocked. The person who was pick up the call was the CEO of the company. And company is a very big company, multinational company. He was invited inside, and the receptionist asked, what are you coming from? Where are you coming from? I have got appointment from your boss, so and so. So he got an appointment, he went inside, and he just presented his vouchers or flyers to that person, and he said, this is life member policy, this is, we are doing things like this, so please become a member. He immediately, without asking question, he wrote a check and gave it to him, and he became a life member. Then the person who is CEO of the company, he asked, do you think I become a life member just like that? And the devotee also said, yes, I was also wondering, I did not say anything, you become just life member without asking any question. Then the devotee, and then the CEO of the company tells the story. So when your founder Acharya Prabhupada, when he was in Calcutta before going to West, he was coming to my father's place every day to play chess. And I was a little small boy. Okay, so I was coming and meeting your Prabhupada. Then your founder Acharya Prabhupada told me that when I I'm going to start a new mission, new organization, will you help me? Then I said, yes, I will help you. So that's the reason I became a life member, because I told your spiritual master. So we don't know where instruction is coming from, how it is coming from. And this was empowered instruction. But seemingly from external point of view, it is very, very difficult to do that task. But this person, he does not, he don't know, he don't even know, though he was living in Calcutta, he don't know how to speak Bengal language. But still he went and spoke. He had many challenges. But that person who got life member, he was already taught by, because everything was already set. We just have to go and give them Krishna consciousness. It's like in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told Arjuna, everything is done. You just have to do your duty. Nimitramata bhava savyasachi. So coming back to that, so if with the equals, we have to associate with the 50%, because we share everything in and out. And with the juniors, 20 to 30%, because when we see juniors, we start giving instructions, doing so many things, Primarily we engage with junior with the support and encouragement. And with the equals, he will see what you are doing, what you are saying. He can understand. If an equal does, if somebody does a very nice kirtan, give a very nice class, and the person can say, oh, you gave this class, I know where this class from. He will make him humble. Correct? Oh, you are doing kirtan because I know why you are doing kirtan. Oh, you are giving class because today so many people came. Like that. So there is a service opportunity, and seniors, they will also give the empowerment, and because they associate with closely to you. And the last thing is that how to overcome challenges in the association of the devotees. Practice tolerance, stay focused on Krishna, seek guidance. So Krishna consciousness is teaching humility, forgiveness. Remember, we are all on individual journey, and we are bound to make mistakes. And second thing, focus on Krishna. Shift your attention away from personalities and into the shades of serving Krishna. And third thing is seek guidance. If conflicts arise, seek the guidance from senior devotee who can provide correct perspective and resolution. So Srila Prabhupada explains that devotees may have differences, but these differences are superficial. Our unity is based on our common goals of serving Krishna. So you should never leave the association of the devotees. So we have to stay focused, and without association, it is very, 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 very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. Just for a practical thing, today we have this program, and in the group of chanting, like we chanted together, everybody. Anybody who felt challenging completing rounds? No, correct. Anybody challenging felt, sitting in one place, or anybody challenging doing attending Guru Puja, attending Bhagavatam class? No, because we have common goal, morning chanting. We have common goal, hearing Bhagavatam. We have to stay focused. Okay, 8:25. I will stop here. Any questions, comments, corrections? Rameta Mataji.
Thank you very much for the lecture. My question is how to basically we are not supposed to associate too much with non-devotees, but we need to cultivate our friends and acquaintances to kind of bring them to Krishna, help them to see the value of Krishna consciousness. So how do you balance this situation? How do you do it?
Yeah, there are so many things that we can do, and also devotees here, they can also share their thoughts. So challenges will keep coming. It's not, challenges will stop when you start bhakti. So how you can overcome challenges with a prayerful mood. In Ramayana, we see all the demons with associates of the Ravana living, but there is only one devotee, Vibhishana. But still he was practicing Krishna consciousness. It's not that he did not give up. But problem is that we are easily tend to give up. We are easily leave the situation. That's why we should not leave the situation. We should learn from the situation. That's what Bhagavad Gita first chapter teaches about. Arjuna wants to leave from that battlefield, but Krishna teaches don't leave battlefield. Fight. That's a struggle we have to do. That's a fight from inside. First, when you fight from inside, you will naturally fight from outside. If you win the war from inside, then you can naturally win the war from outside. If you lose the war from inside, then no matter how much support you get in the association, you will not win. You leave the association, and eventually you get into some other kind of practices where that leads to cycle of birth and death, cycle of miseries. So prayerful to the Lord that can I see some good thing in that particular devotee, and naturally Krishna reveals. Is that answer? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Turn on the mic. Is it on? Yeah.
So, first of all, thank you so much. It was wonderful. In the beginning, when we saw the words in translation, we are like, what are we learning? Why are we talking about a girl in the house alone? So it was interesting, how it led to the understanding of association, understanding of it's better be alone rather than argue, because I'm right. So that's false ego, that what I know is correct. Instead, just be alone or just be quiet. I really appreciate you doing sort of percentage of how to associate in different category, because you're so right. With senior devotee, I'm not ready to follow. If they say, go do this, I'm like, yeah, I wasn't ready, and I cannot disobey. So I think this is really important how you said how to associate. I do want to also comment a little bit when Mataji is saying associating with people who are non-devotees. So we all are working outside, living in the areas where we, like myself, we do not have any association in our neighborhood for devotees. But one time Nityanand Pran Prabhu said very nicely, we were talking about this association with non-devotees. So he explained in the way of association means what are you taking and what are you giving. So when I'm with those people, like at work or with my other friends, as you said correctly, we take the good. So I still appreciate the qualities that other people have, even if they are not following the devotion the same way as we do. But like Mataji said, if I am associating with my devotional journey or cultivation, hopefully we can bring them close to Krishna. And that's why, we still continue to maintain our relationships with people who are not necessarily following the way we do.
Correct. Yeah, in the offices challenges will come, but the problem is that, of course, if we don't have any other option, what option we can have is that, just give them Krishna consciousness in whichever they like it. Just like I was working in corporate office, I was not preaching philosophy, I was not preaching anything, but I was sharing my tiffin box, lunch box with them. They would appreciate, oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. Bring more, bring more. So then I slowly started. According to that, we have to open up Krishna consciousness. Just like, tamam prapatyante tam sitayo bhajamyam. Don't tell them Krishna consciousness from A to Z and initiate them there and there only. Just whatever they can understand, whatever their capacity, just spark the fire, whatever is needed. If they are if you can able to sense, oh, that is becoming too much, then you can stop, then you can leave them. But the thing is that we should not have a result-oriented preaching. Result-oriented. Okay, I want to preach, which is good, motivation good, which is good, and we should not have expectations. Okay, I am preaching from my colleague today. After 6 months, he should be chanting 16 rounds. That expectation we should not have. Whatever is, do the needful, and leave the rest to Krishna. Thank you for nice comment. Sunil Madhav Prabhu has one.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a nice class. I was thinking a couple of things. Like a satsang, you were talking about satsang. So I just remind me that one time Bhakti Charu Maharaj was telling me that if there is a one stick, then you can break it very easily. But if there are 20, 30 sticks together, then you cannot break it. Similarly, when we are together, satsang, then it's very difficult. The Maya can attack you. Otherwise, if it is all alone, then it's very easy for Maya, because Maya is Krishna's energy. It's not like ordinary thing. It's very strong.
Correct.
So that's why it's absolutely necessary for all of us to remain together and always have satsang. The other thing I was thinking that satsang means sadhu sang. Right? So naturally we have to associate with the sadhus. We have come here to become a sadhu, right? We have become a devotee. The other thing I was thinking that satsang, sat means satya, the truth. Sang means you associate with the truth. So the truth of within this body is Atma, soul. And another truth is Bhagavan, Krishna. So one who comes at the platform of Sat, which is Atma, then you associate with Paramatma, Supreme Lord. So that is satsang. Satsang means you associate with Lord based on your soul. What do you call Aksharaham, Aham Brahmasmi, and then Purushottam Dasosmi. I am the servant of the Lord. So if you don't have that, see, just if you think about the body is based on the two things, food and water. Right? If you stop eating food, what will happen to our body?
Correct.
It will thick and sick. So all you can see, if the person who is on a top level, he sees that this is just the food and water, nothing else. It's just a cover. Just like we are covering this body with this cloth, similarly the nature has given this covering of this body to the soul. So if we come to that platform, then this body is just like a cover. But the real thing is, real truth is, we are the soul and we have to associate with the Supreme Soul, Krishna. That is real satsang.
Correct.
So if we don't do that, then always we'll fall back. Hare
Right.
Krishna.
Thank you for the comment. Yeah, we have to seek the association guidance from the devotees. And the problem sometimes comes up when you are alone, what you do. You know? When you are in the association of the devotees, you chant nicely, straight, and read nicely, and everything will happen. But the challenging part comes is that when you are an individual, what you are scrolling, what you are reading, what is mind is scrolling. You know, to overcome that, we are in the level of sadhana bhakti. We have to associate with the co-devotees so that he can correct, and so that we can understand challenges in our life. Otherwise, if you are staying alone, then you will see the years of Krishna consciousness that you have practiced, that will reveal in 1 hour if you stay alone. What are you going to do? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Just follow-up question, Prabhu. Whenever I talk with Prabhu, he brings me to the level of soul, and it's very difficult for me to understand. Honestly, to come to level of soul, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Always when I ask this question to Prabhu, he goes to that level. Let's say if I'm not at that level, okay, that come to the level of soul and understand Paramatma in your heart, Krishna, and then when let's say if the situation comes when we have to practice the bhakti alone, we have to do our service alone. How can we maintain insanity if you are not at that level of soul? Let's say there is no one in your service, you have to do your service, you have to focus on your service. You don't have the realization of soul and super soul. Sorry, I'm reiterating my question again, asking the question again. How can we maintain the sanity or intelligence that let me focus in my service? I'm not at that level of soul.
Yeah. There are devotees, if they want to share, they can share their own, how they will survive. And Vajapati Prabhu, you want to share something?
How can we survive the casualties?
I was just thinking, in the same lines as what Paramakarna was sharing. I think for you and Haribhakti Prabhu and or the Brahmachari ashram or the Sannyasi ashram, it's more easier to perhaps, when I'm speaking from a Grahastha platform actually, because you have to live with others, and of course in the ashram also you live with other devotees. And when I was asking, one brahmachari just casually, like, how are you? You mentioned about associating with other devotees and talking about Krishna's pastimes, but also you mentioned, when you meet them, you can also say hello, how are you, and things like that. So when I was just run into a brahmachari and asked him, how are you? And he said, are you asking me, or are you asking my soul, right? How am I, my body or my soul, right? So this brahmachari was asking me. So I think, just connecting the dots, I think when we are alone, there's different ways of taking association. Association can be through books, through hearing as well. I think those are powerful ways of associating with Srila Prabhupada, with our gurus, with our, even many of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they've written a lot of books, and there's a lot of, instead of plainly like scrolling, when mind is trying to scroll something, it's better to scroll through those lectures and hear from those. I think that the association that way would help if we are put in a situation where we are alone and cannot get association of devotees with physical proximity. That is one way, I think one solution that I can think of.
Yeah. The one comment which I want to say is that I'm sure you all must heard this. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. Peace, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. You know, the less you bleed in war. Similarly, the more you hear Krishna Katham, it is like how you do, how you hear, how you chant, and how you read. Are you exclusively chanting? Are you exclusively hearing? Are you exclusively reading? If you see, this is, I don't want to share my personal thing, but the thing is that if you sit in one place and chant complete 16 rounds, the entire day the mind will not bother, even if you are alone. That is first. Second thing is that if you are alone, some things comes, some anartha, some thoughts will come. If you are acting upon that thought, think that is this will be pleasing to the Lord? Is this will be pleasing to my spiritual master? Is this pleasing to the devotees? Then answer comes no, then you should not do it. And another level is that if you are alone and if not having anything, at least write that what you heard today or what you learned from today. And if you are still alone, you don't know anything, you play some music instrument. Like, just like, if I am alone, I don't have anything, just go and play something, some bhajan, which you like it. Not that which Krishna, which, I like that bhajan. Which I like some music instrument, I just go and play, which is glorifying. At least it is above from sense gratification, right? It is about some level of doing sense gratification. But the thing is that staying alone is very, very dangerous. But the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So if you have that, and last and least thing is that why I am doing. What is my goal? Is it a devotee? I want to become a devotee in future, or I want to become something else? You just ask a sincere question, then answer will come. Or somebody will come and call you, or somebody will say, I want to do this, Some association will come. If you are doing some kind of a wrong thing, if you pray sincerely, intensely in your mind, some obstacles will come to that sense gratification so that you can overcome that. All right.
Thank you, Prabhu. I was really, more you sweat in a peace, more you bleed in a war. You get it. I was appreciating the 2 points from you, that the moment you stay alone, you can understand how strong we are. It's very difficult. And second thing, ask yourself a question, intelligent question, that what I'm doing is pleasing to my guru or devotees. That is a level I can think of, because to go to soul level is difficult. But thank you for...
Thank you. We will stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.